Hey friends, welcome back to the Gubba Homestead. I'm Gubba, and today we are going to be discussing the 5 things that will make you a perfect tradwife. What is a tradwife? A tradwife is a woman who takes on traditional gender roles in the home and believes she is not sacrificing women's rights to do so. The tradwife movement has been on the rise, especially in the past few years. I believe this is due to the chaos of 2020 and what we witnessed. We saw empty grocery stores, riots in the streets, society just generally collapsing, and people began flocking back to their roots. Their roots of learning how to garden, how to can and preserve food, be self-sufficient, and really return to a way of life that their great-grandparents had. What else did their great-grandparents had? They had a family unit where the woman stayed home to tend to the children and care for the home. Well, what happened between our great-grandparents' time and now? We had the feminist movement. You may be thinking, but the feminist movement was for women's rights. Was it really? Or was it to get the woman into the workplace? What happens when the woman goes into the workplace? Who's home to raise the children? You have to go drop the children off with somebody else at daycare or school to then raise your child. The man goes out of the home to work, get money, and then pays another person to raise his child. Do you see the problem in that? Not only that, the woman whose traditional role is to stay home, submit to her husband, keep a home, tend and raise children, is then going out into a workplace and having to submit to a boss or another authority figure. Where is the benefit in that? If you think about it, is it a benefit to the system to have only one taxable person in a household? Or is it more of a benefit to the system to have 2 taxable people in the household? These are all interesting questions to think about, and I would invite you to ponder them. I think there is great value and honor to be found in the tradwife movement, and that is why I want to help you become the best tradwife you can. Here are 5 things that you can do to become the best tradwife. 1. You absolutely need to learn how to cook and to bake from scratch. Our great grandmas did not have the convenience, nor do I think that they would want it, of going to a grocery store to pick out some processed slop from the shelves, pop it in the microwave, and call that dinner. No. Our great grandmas were lovingly curating these beautiful, hearty meals from food from their garden or their food storage, or from a cut of meat from their recently butchered animal. They would curate these meals for their family to come home to, for the kids to eat, for the husband after his long day of work to come home, sit down, and everybody was able to connect around the dinner table. For thousands of years, food has built a way for people to connect with each other. Now, the woman is out of the home and convenience has seeped in. What happens? We now are relying on fast food, places like DoorDash, with who knows how many people are handling your food, what is going into your food. We have no more connection with our food. That is disrupting our family ties. We're no longer sitting down. We're too tired when we get home from work. The woman from this women's rights movement, her right of going to work has now disrupted the family. The skills of learning how to cook and bake from scratch have been lost because there is no time. Do you see how the system has duped us? Do you also see how you can take your freedom back by learning how to cook and bake from scratch? Even if it is simple meals, you can still bring your family around the table, or your husband when he gets home from work, or if you put that extra effort when you get home to create just something meaningful, you will see your family bonds grow. For example, I tonight am making a roast. I used food from my food storage, a variety of vegetables, and homemade canned broth. Now that we understand how learning how to cook and bake from scratch can help repair the family, help bring back our freedoms into our home, and build the tradwife community, let's move on to number 2. Number 2, knowing how to nourish your family. If you are a perfect tradwife, then you have done your research. You see through the matrix and you are a beacon of light when it comes to food and feeding for your family. You eat things like raw liver because you know is extremely nutrient dense. Your doctor, while you are pregnant, may tell you, hey, liver is full of toxins and it is too high in vitamin A for you to eat, but instead of raw liver, have these synthetic prenatals instead. You see right through that, and also you drink raw milk because you know the raw milk is not inherently bad and it is one of the most nutrient dense foods that you can have and give to your family. You have done your research and know that pasteurization is a dead food and it is completely useless to eat. You know that pasteurization was introduced because of filthy dairies, not because raw milk was making people sick, but because lazy people were keeping animals sick and diseased in unnatural conditions. And of course, milk from sick and diseased animals will probably make you sick and diseased. You see right through these big food and big pharma conventions because you know both of them work hand in hand to make you and your family sick. It is your responsibility to nourish your family and ensure they don't get sick, so that is why you nourish yourself and them with things like raw milk and raw liver. Number 3, you don't use anything with synthetic fragrances like perfumes or lotions because you know how damaging they are to your hormones and you wouldn't want to put your family at risk for having to inhale and smell those synthetic fragrances. Instead, you use natural alternatives like essential oils for perfumes or animal fats like tallow for moisturizer. Tallow is filled with saturated fats and vitamins like A, D, E, and K naturally. No synthetic lab-made additives like you will find in conventional store-bought moisturizers, perfumes, and all that other gunk. Seriously, go look up the ingredients list for the most popular baby lotion. Read those ingredients and ask yourself, why is this in baby's lotion? When instead you could just be using something as simple as beef fat to nourish you and your family's skin. If you want to use grass-fed tallow for you and your family to nourish your skin, to make your skin beautiful, you can check out my shop below. This Tradwife makes it for you. Number 4, you need to learn how to care for children and also care for animals. If we are returning to our homesteading roots, like our great grandmas, they had traditionally large families. They brought forth a lot of children, but they also had homesteads of animals that they knew how to care for. They had a dairy cow that they knew how to nourish and supply with mineral and rotate and ensure that they had the proper feed. They had chickens that they ensured were safe, so they were able to have a steady supply of meat and eggs, but they also had children. And again, because the woman has been taken out of the home, these natural nurturing skills have been lost. So reconnect with yourself, learn how to care for children, but also we are tasked with being stewards of this earth. So go out, care for animals, and build up that natural nurturing sense within yourself, and that will help you apply it to your family. Number 5, you need to learn how to clean your home efficiently and do so without poisoning yourself or your family. Traditional household cleaners are filled with toxic chemicals that are dangerous to inhale and also dangerous to get on your skin. Our great grandma was not out there cleaning her homestead with bleach. She was using things like vinegar, warm water, and homemade soaps, and they did the job just fine. Now we have been marketed products that have convinced us that we absolutely need them in order to have a clean home. That is absolutely not true, and I know now whenever I smell these conventional products, I get a serious headache. As a Tradwife, you are in tune with your body, and me getting a headache tells me there is something severely wrong with whatever is in my home. Part of being a Tradwife is having a kept home, so you're able to organize, clean efficiently, and maintain it, all while doing so without toxic chemicals. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you being here. I hope these tips help you become the best Tradwife that you possibly can, all while doing it without poisoning your family, poisoning yourself, using actual nourishing products that are going to nourish your body, seeing through the matrix, you know, all that sort of stuff. Let me know if I missed anything in the comments, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!